So with the new season of Doctor Who out now, I've been theory-crafting about a few things. The biggest of which being Mrs. Flood's identity. And not only do I think I have a good theory about who she is, I think I'm 100% confident in who she is, and it's something I've not seen anyone else say is a possibility, and I believe it goes all the way back to a story from the second Doctor era. First off, we have why I'm so confident she has to be a villain from the past. Every time Russell does a finale event for Doctor Who, he brings back some big villain of the past. In Series 1 it was the Daleks, in 2 it was the Cybermen, 3 had the Master, 4 had Davros, the 2009 specials had the Time Lords. Even in the new era he's followed this trend, with the Toymaker ending of the 60th anniversary and Sutekh being the big bad of last season. So I'm fairly confident that Mrs. Flood is gonna be revealed as a returning villain, except I think this time will be a little different. Because I think that instead of her being an actual past villain, I think she's gonna end up being the replacement for a character we saw way back in the 60s. During the famous second Doctor story, The Mind Robber, the Doctor and his friends get trapped in a world of fiction. This world is controlled by a character called the Master. No, not that one. In fact, I'm gonna call him the Master of Stories from now on. Anyway, in the storyline, the Master of Stories seeks out the Doctor as a replacement. You see, the Master of Stories isn't one character. It's a title passed on from creature to creature, always to someone with high intellect. Now let's look at the possible evidence of Mrs. being the new Master of Stories. Well, first off is all the godlike characters in the show lately, and I'd say someone with control over all fictional characters is pretty godlike, and she's shown to break the fourth wall on regular occasions. Something only the Doctor has been able to do, showing that she's clearly on par with the Doctor in terms of intelligence, and since the Doctor was once considered to be the new Master of Stories, that means Mrs. Flood would also fit into the position. Now look at how she talks to the audience in the finale of Season 1.
And that's how the story of the church on Ruby Road comes to an end. With a very happy ending for little Ruby Sunday.
She literally talks to the audience like a storyteller. Now I know that may not be enough to convince some of you, so let's go over the other bits of evidence. The Master of Stories' main ability is that they're able to bring fictional characters to life. And what do we see in the episode that comes out right after this video goes up? A fictional cartoon character, coming to life. Even some of the leaks support this more. Leaks for the episode Lucky Day give us a good idea of the plot. A man dresses up in a fake monster costume. And later in that same story, a monster that looks exactly the same pops up. A fake monster. That suddenly becomes real. Then there's the spider monster we've seen in all the trailers. Parallels have been drawn between this monster and the African god Anansi, which is a god heavily connected to stories. And it looks like this spider is a machine, perhaps the vessel to the Master of Stories. And if this somehow still doesn't convince you, I can prove that she has been controlling the entire show from behind the scenes for a long time. Doctor Who, in universe, is confirmed to be a TV show, probably because the Master of Stories has turned it into one. How do I know that Doctor Who is a show within the universe? Look no further than the classic show's 25th season.
The viewing continues with an adventure in the new science fiction series,
They start to show the very first episode of Doctor Who on the TV, with a Doctor Who character right there next to the TV. Combine that with the Doctor's well-documented history of breaking the fourth wall, and it's clear that the Doctor is trapped in a show. It also gives an in-universe reason for the modern show's most common criticism. Modern Who has often been compared to a fanfic. And that's because it is. The fanfiction of the Master of Stories. But why would Mrs. Flood want to write a Doctor Who fanfic? That's because she's someone who's met the Doctor before. Someone that we've met before. Mrs. Flood is none other than Anita from Joy to the World. Someone who spent a year with the Doctor, learning his personality and hearing his stories, only to get recruited into a time-traveling hotel at the end of her episode. A perfect position to end up in the land of fiction. I mean, the name of the real-life actor for Mrs. Flood is Anita Dobson. It's the exact same position as Susan Twist being cast as Susan Triad in Season 1. But why are we only seeing her now? If she has been controlling things this whole time, where has she been? Well, I think she didn't realize what she did. That is until she saw the TARDIS in the church on Ruby Road, and realized what she's done.